Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. So recently I've been seeing these types of videos popping up everywhere. If I lost my makeup, these would be the first products that I would buy again. And I thought to myself, let's actually do that type of video here on my channel. So let's just assume I would have lost all of my makeup, like my entire makeup collection would be gone. I honestly cannot imagine that. But if I would have to imagine that, which products would I repurchase first? And this is not the type of video if I could only keep one thing. No, these are the types of makeup products that I would purchase first. Like, I'm never going to be a minimalist with my collection. I'm always going to have a lot of like makeup around me because I just like the choice. But I thought it would be a really cool experiment to actually think about that. Like, if all of my makeup would be gone, what would be the products that I would want to have immediately again? And I definitely made my choice. It was difficult. It was kind of a challenge, especially for the foundations and for the eyeshadows. Those two categories, honestly, they gave me a headache. But I made up my mind and I came up with this look. And this would be like the type of look that I would always want to be able to do. I was really thinking about what colors do I like, what kind of like makeup works well on my skin type too. So I made my mind up, I made my choices. So I really hope you are going to like this video and this little experiment. So if you do, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe and ring the bell in order to get notified about my upcoming videos. You guys know that is very much appreciated. But I am going to be going barefaced and I'm going to let you guys know what would be the products that I would repurchase first. And then at the end of the video, I'm actually going to add up all of them together. Like, what would be my grand total? And I was really baffled because I did not take into consideration any kind of budget. I was just kind of picking the products what my gut instinct, told me, like intuitively. What would I want to have in my collection? And yeah, it was a little bit shocking when I saw the total amount of it. So I probably would have to either use a bunch of discount codes or I would have to gradually pick these products up. But alright, so let's actually go barefaced and let's kick it off with the very first product. Alright, you guys, so I'm barefaced right now and I honestly cannot wait to actually put all of these products on my face. So let's actually kick it off with a primer. Now I was thinking about this, I was like, which primer would I actually purchase first? And this was a no-brainer for me because I feel like this primer is kind of like giving me everything that I'm looking for in a primer. It's giving me mattification, it's giving me blurring, and it's also giving me like overall hydration. So this is a primer that I would like be happy to pick up first. And I truly love this one. And that one is the Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Mattifying Primer, and this one retails for $52. I really love this to prep my face with because it's just gonna get rid of all of this shine that was left by my skincare, because I would not necessarily run out and buy a hydrating primer because I've got all of my skincare. So my skincare is hydrating enough. However, I do need something that controls my oil production just a little bit throughout the day. I think this one works so well with most of my foundations. It does not pill, it does not do anything weird, it's not pulling the skin or anything, not tugging it. It's just such a good primer, and yeah, I would definitely run out and buy this again if I would have lost all of my makeup, which I hope never happens. So this also has a very like runny liquidy texture, but it's really like lovely. It definitely does mattify my face and it's still hydrating enough. It's also sort of a blurring primer, which I really appreciate. I just really love what this one is doing. Alright, but can you see how well this has mattified my face? I feel like this one, although it's expensive, you're kind of gonna get a lot of product. You're gonna get 50 milliliters. Usually with primers, you're only gonna get 30 milliliters. So this has 1.7 fluid ounces. I just really love what this is doing to my skin. I feel like my skin is so well prepped. So yeah, let's actually move on from the primer and let's talk about the foundation that I would pick up first. Now, this was really difficult because I had a couple of foundations and I'm like, which one would I actually like buy first? There were three that made it into the selection of today's video. Of course, I can only put on one, but I would most likely want to have all of these three foundations in my collection like immediately. I would definitely pick up this one, the RMS Re-Evolve Natural Finish Foundation. This is so good. I really, really love this. I would also pick up the Aaron's Faces Mineral Liquid Powder Foundation. This is also such a good foundation. I would not want to be without this anymore. But the one foundation where I would put my order through like first, I would go with this one, the CoverFX Power Play Foundation. What I love about the foundation is simply that it's buildable. You know, this goes from a medium to a full coverage, and I feel like these other two foundations have the same kind of coverage amount, like, but I don't know what it is about this one. I think I would just pick this one up first. This one is just a foundation that I trust the most. I also considered my Lisa Eldridge foundation. I really like that one as well. Again, with the foundations, it was a little bit more difficult to actually just pick one. But I think this one would be my number one. I just love this. It's perfect. I really, really like it. It also comes in a ton of shades. And this one is the shade P40. All right, but yeah, let's just apply this beautiful foundation to my skin. I just love it. You know, the finish, the coverage level, the way this just performs. This is so long wearing. I just really love it. So yeah, this would be my favorite choice. And I think, you know, it's also because the shade really does match me so well. It's almost like a perfect shade match. I really do enjoy it. It's also kind of lightweight, so I don't really feel this sitting on my skin. And it's almost a little bit of like self-setting. So it's not gonna like stay like super like wet, you know, on your skin. It kind of has a little bit of a dry down and it just works like beautifully on my skin. I just really, really love it. So let's actually move on to the concealer. And for the concealer, I really did not have to think long. Like this was also kind of like a no-brainer. I immediately thought to myself, oh, I know which concealer I would pick up. Can you guys guess? Of course, it would be the Lawless Conceal the Deal Concealer. For my under eye, this is like the best concealer ever because it's lightweight, yet it delivers enough coverage, blends out beautiful, and it does not crease. It's just such a good formula, you know, it's kind of hydrating as well. It's not over the top luminous, yet it's not too matte to a point that it would look cakey. I feel like it's just the perfect finish and it's the perfect concealer for my under eyes. It's just so good. But if I would want something that has a little bit more coverage, I would definitely pick up the Rare Beauty concealer. This is one of these concealers that is creamy, a little bit more thick than the Lawless one, and I honestly prefer the Lawless for under my eyes. But this one, I just like to correct things. Like a spot concealer, it would be this one by Rare Beauty, most definitely. And I just love it to, like, you know, clean up the edges right here from my eyeshadow. So this would also be something that I would probably repurchase, but I do think the very first concealer that I would repurchase immediately would be the Lawless one. So yeah, let's apply it on my under eye. And I have this in the shade Ballad. And that one has a little bit more of a peachier undertone, but it just works so well for my under eye, you know. It looks a little bit peachy, but once it's blended out, it's just gonna, you know, melt in with my skin tone like perfectly. It's so good. I love it. So I also use a dampened sponge to blend this one out. I feel like works the best for me. Okay, so let's maybe also put something on my eyes. Now I was thinking about this, like which eye primer would I like repurchase? And yeah, I would definitely pick up the one that I discovered recently, which is the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. This also has so much product. This has 12 grams of product. Usually these primers, like these eye primers, don't have a lot of product. And I just, apply it with my finger, and you don't need much product to actually just, conceal your eyelids. It really has some coverage too. I'm always glad to find something that has enough coverage without creasing a ton. And this is so lightweight. You cannot feel this on your eyes. It's just such a good one because just look at the difference a little bit of this product made. It's phenomenal. And I would definitely like order this straight away if I had lost all my makeup. Oh my god, just that thought. It's not a nice thought, to be honest with you. But yeah, this would definitely be the first eye primer that I would pick up. In terms of setting powder, I was really thinking about this. And, because I actually picked out the CoverVax Power Play Foundation, I could get away with my Kosas Cloud Set powder. However, if I would pick up like the RMS foundation, for example, I don't think that my Kosas one would be enough. So I thought about it. I was like, which powder would I actually pick up? Something that would work, something that would just give me enough, to get through my day, something that's also not too mattifying, something that's just right in between, something that like works with all of my foundations, that works with every concealer. So I think I would pick up the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist, setting powder. This one, because honestly, I use this a lot. I'm already like halfway through mine, and this comes with 10 grams of product, and it just has the best locking sift ever. Like, I just love this locking sieve. This just makes me happy because I can travel with this without any issues. And this is the shade Light. They do have this in a couple of shades. However, I feel like this does not really give you any like coverage with the powder. It has a little bit of a pink tint, and it's also working so well for my Lawless concealer and for the rest of my face. I just really, really like it. I think it's called Soft Radiance. I don't think it's that radiant. It's not like a radiant powder. Don't be fooled by this name. This does mattify though. Like, it does mattify my foundations. It's not mattifying to a point where it would give you cake face, okay? I think that's why I love this powder so much, because it just looks so natural on the skin. It's like not detectable whatsoever, and it's just great. I just love it. So let's apply it. So I applied the powder only on one side, and here you can see the unset side, just, for comparison. I think it does blur, it does mattify, and it's not glowy or anything, so it's not really like a radiant powder like they describe. I think it just makes your skin really like flawless and smooth, but it's not adding like any glow or any like radiance, so to speak. Okay, so my base is set. Let's actually move on to the color complexion products. Let's move on to the bronzer, to the blush, and to the highlighter. And yeah, for the bronzer, it was a little bit more difficult. But one thing I did realize was I would not like straight away pick up any cream products. I could happily live without any cream products. Now, this might be shocking to you because I do have quite a lot of cream products. I love them, but in general, if I had to pick up like a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter straight away after I've lost everything, I would go with a powder. I've got a ton of bronzers that I love, and I do have some that I constantly reach for. These two were the ones that I love the most, and that is definitely my RMS Beauty Luminizing Powder, the Madeira bronzer. Oh my gosh, this bronzer, it has been a favorite of mine for such a long time. I love this shade. This shade works so well for me. They don't really have any other shade that's their only like bronzing powder. It has a little bit more of like a cool, like almost like purple leaning undertone. So this could also be like more of a contouring powder. And I also thought about like contouring powders, but I chose two bronzers that could like work as a contour and a bronzer. So this would be my very first option, the Madeira bronzer. I love it. And then the other bronzer that I would definitely pick up, and I think this would be my first purchase because this is just so stinking beautiful. And this is also a bronzer that I reach for in my everyday life like a ton. Like if I don't want to make a decision about what bronzer I should put on, I always reach for this one. And that is the Hourglass Ambient Lightning Bronzer. I have this in the shade Diffuse Bronze Light, and I also have the mini size. Like you can see, this is so used. Oh my gosh, just look at this mirror. Ugh. But yeah, I made a huge dent in this and it's still holding up strong. Like there is still so much product left. A large size retails for $58, so this is definitely not a cheap product. All of the Hourglass powders, all of their blushes, their highlighters, they are so, so stunning. So let's apply it. I mean, you know, just such a good one. Such a good one. Would not want to be without this. Definitely not. Almost has a little bit of like a red undertone, but in a very cool sort of way. This is the way I would bronze, naturally. So I feel like it just looks so natural on my skin. This powder formula, it's one of its kind. It does not look patchy, it just looks so smooth. I mean, this is really cool if you just want to throw this into your bag or if you just, are on the go, if you're traveling. This is a really good option that you can actually pick up a travel size. All right, so let's move on from the bronzer to the blush. And for the blush, I really did not have to think like twice. If I had lost all of my makeup, this would definitely be the very first blush that I would pick up because it's like, in all honesty, my all-time favorite one. And yeah, that is the Jane Iredale Pure Pressed Blush in the shade Dubonnet. This is the blush that I constantly use. It is just the best powder formula ever. This looks so diffused. It just looks like blood. It's just such a stunning color as well. I also really do enjoy the color Flawless. That would be maybe my second blush that I would pick up. But out of all of the powder blushes, and believe me, I do have quite a lot, I would pick up this one. This was like a surprise to me. When I tried this out the very first time, I was like, this is unlike any blush I've ever tried. It's just perfection. And you can tell how much I'm using this. I just love this so, so much. This shade Dubonnet, it's like this dusty mauve, like rose is just so pretty. It's just so smooth, so beautiful. It's buildable. It's not too pigmented straight away. And I just love how this looks on my skin. It's the best, the best, the best, the best. So yeah, let's put it onto the apples of my cheeks. Now I could go ham with this blush. I could put this all over my face. So stunning. It's beautiful. And they have this in a ton of shades, a ton of shades. So in terms of highlighters, that was kind of difficult because there are a ton of highlighters and I realized I tend to switch around like quite a lot. Like I don't really just keep one highlighter out. It also really depends on, what colors I'm wearing. If I want a little bit more of a champagne highlighter, more of an icy highlighter, more of a golden highlighter. It really depends. But then, my first thought was like, I would not want to live without this Milk Makeup Flax highlighter in the shade Lit. But that one got discontinued. I don't know why they discontinued this shade. This was such a beautiful formula. I don't like a glittery highlighter. Like, I don't like anything that's super texture enhancing. I like something that is like a smooth, like wet looking glow. I really love that. And this gave me that. But unfortunately, this is discontinued. So what can I do? I think if it comes down to it, the very first one that I would pick up immediately again, it would be this one. It would be the Saint Highlighting Powder in the shade Lunar Glow. This is just perfection. This is one of my favorite highlighters of all time. It's so beautiful. I love this so, so much. I've been using this a ton. This is definitely more like icy, but in the best way possible, without being too bright, without being too white. So I just love this. This is perfection. It's a beautiful formula. It's an amazing, stunning highlighter. So let's actually, put this on my face. And this would definitely be the very first one that I would pick up. Out of all of my highlighters, this one just won because it's just so smooth. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, this would be my number one highlighter. So let's put it on. I'm just going to put it on my cheeks a little bit and on the tip of my nose and a little bit above my upper lip. It's just this perfect sort of glow, wet looking reflection. And I love this on the tip of my nose. It's just so beautiful. So let's move on to the next category. Let's move on to my eyes. All right, and you guys know we're gonna start off with my eyebrows. Now, for my eyebrows, I mean, my favorite eyebrow pencil of all time got discontinued, my Item Beauty Brow Chow, and I was on a hunt for like a pencil that would come close in formula, and I found it. I found it recently. And yeah, I would definitely run out and buy this one again. And this is the About Face Brow Artist. I have this in the shade Chocolate Brown. This is so good. It really reminds me of the Brow Chow. It's really stunning. It also has like a triangle kind of shape pencil. I'm just gonna brush my brows through and then apply it. I will say I've tried out so many brow pencils, and this was the one that spoke to me the most. I also like the Lawless brow pencil quite a lot, but this one is just almost identical to my Item Beauty Brow Chow. And I just love the fact that this really fills in my brows because I do need my brows to be filled in. So we're gonna be doing that right now. It's quite a striking like difference, right? So let's also do this brow. You guys know which brow gel I'm going to be using now. And that one is, of course, the Kosas Airbrow Brow Gel. Here is an empty one. Although it does not look empty, I promise you there's nothing like, does not really pick up any more product, and I had this for a hot minute. I repurchased it. And of course this would be the very first brow gel that I would pick up if I had lost all of my makeup, because it's just the best one. I love it. This also kind of fills in your brows. So if you don't have a pencil to fill in your brows, you can also do it with this. But I have this in the shade Soft Brown, and also this brow gel does come in a clear shade, and it comes also in different other shades. I just have Soft Brown. This is also not a gel that will like stick like crazy like glue, because I don't like that. I don't like a gel that I can feel in my brows, and this is like weightless, but it's just so good. So let's apply it. And I also really do love the shape and the size of this spoolie. Like, this really is made for my eyebrows for some reason. When I comb through this, it's just the perfect shape and size. I just love it. So in terms of eyeshadows, I was really, 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 really struggling to actually decide on an eyeshadow palette, to the point where I was like, I don't think I could make that decision. There are just so many good eyeshadow palettes out there. And I actually made a decision on one palette. I had to realize when I looked the palette up again, I had to realize, oh no, this brand just recently have closed down. They closed their doors. They are no longer in business. So this is a discontinued eyeshadow palette, and it's by Complex Culture. It's their full-time eyeshadow palette in the colorway Party Added. And the reason being is why I would have picked up this beautiful eyeshadow palette first, because this is like neutral, yet you can create a glam look. You know, this is like something that I would want, something neutral that could be amped up, just to bridge the gap for that period that I would not have any eyeshadow palettes until I would, you know, build up my eyeshadow collection again. So because it got discontinued and because I could never just make a decision on one eyeshadow palette, I just thought to myself, like, if I would need something neutral, something easy, something, you know, that just fulfills the basic needs until I have my big collection back again, I think I would go with the Kaleidos quad, the Cold Brew quad, just because this has all of the brown shades that I do like, and it also has this beautiful shimmer shade. Just keep in mind there are so many other beautiful neutral palettes, and I was thinking about it even more. I really got a headache around the eyeshadow palette category, even more than with the foundations, you know, because those two products are definitely my favorite products when it comes to makeup. But I thought, you know, if I need something that will always look good, that will always look great, this is the product that I'm reaching for if I don't have the time and if I want something on my eyes. So I was thinking maybe this would be the very first product that I would pick up over any eyeshadow palette in the world. And it's by Lisa Eldridge, and it's her Liquid Lurex eyeshadow formula. These are liquid eyeshadows and they don't require any effort. They are so effortless, they are so easy to use, and they just look stunning. And this would be the shade that I would pick up. And this is the shade Emily. The shade Emily is just this beautiful pearly sort of taupe shade. So I'm gonna put this on my eyelids today. And for my lower lash line, I'm gonna help myself with one of these brown shades, most likely this one. And for my waterline, I definitely do need a good eyeliner. And I think the very first one that I would pick up would be by Victoria Beckham, her Satin Kajal liner in the shade Cocoa. This is a brown eyeliner. I love it. It's one of my favorite ones. But I also really like Pacifica eyeliners. These Pacifica eyeliners are great. They last in my waterline. Like, I need something that is a little bit creamy, yet it will last, you know, in my waterline. And these two formulas, you know, until this day are just, you know, the best ones. So I think it would be one of them, probably my Victoria Beckham one, because just works so well with all of these brown shades. Like, honestly, a good neutral brown will always work on me. And yeah, so those would be my decisions. So let's actually start applying this. And what I just love about this is that I just use the doe foot on here. I apply it on my eyes. I use a little bit of a brush to blend it out and it will look stunning. So let's apply the shade Emily all over my lids. I mean, this just looks so beautiful. And you can definitely feather this formula out. It does not dry down so quick that it's not movable anymore. It's definitely a flexible sort of formula. And I think just to deepen out the corner a little bit, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And you can definitely do this, although I've already put down the Lisa Eldridge one, does not matter. So these three products would be in my basket, most definitely. I mean, I would have like chosen this one, the Complex Culture, this beautiful eyeshadow palette. I just cannot believe that this one got discontinued. I can't believe this brand is no longer. That is such a shame. So in terms of mascara, I really did not have to think that long. And these two, I would just want to have them because one of them is a little bit more lengthening and the other one would be perfect for whatever I would do. One of them is the Sweet Beauty Cloud Mascara. This one is just so good. I have tried this one out a couple of months ago and I fell in love with it. I emptied out an entire one and then I repurchased it again. I just think that this is such a solid formula. This does not smudge. This is like separating, lengthening, defining. That's what I love in a mascara. And then the other one, I might actually put that one on because I think like you guys might be sick and tired of me putting this sweet mascara on, because in my past videos I've always used this mascara. So I thought to myself, there was another one that I just love so much. And I've actually emptied this mascara before and I constantly repurchase this, and that is the Airy Paris Avocado Waterproof Mascara. It's so good, it's so lengthening, it does not smudge, it does not flake off, it's just a perfect formula. The only thing is, when I have this like brand new, and I actually have a brand new one, because this one completely empty, okay? This is completely empty, so here is the new one. The formula is just a little bit wet, so I gotta be careful not to touch my eyeshadow with this mascara, because this will stain. That's the only downside of it. But if you have this open for like 2 weeks, it's kind of like good again, but it's a little bit more on the wet side. Also, this one has a traditional sort of bristle brush, whereas the Sweet Beauty mascara, hang on, I'm gonna show you, that one has a silicone brush with like these short bristles, but for some reason this works so well. So let's apply the Airy Paris mascara. Just for a quick comparison, I did not apply anything on this eye, but just look at that eye. I mean, the lengthening, it's out of this world. This is just such a good mascara. It's not clumpy, it is just so separating, so defining, so lengthening. It just makes my lashes look like almost like fake lashes. It's that good. I just love this. But just look at that. That is just so like, my lashes, they could reach heaven with this mascara. Honestly, that's how lengthened they are. And I don't think it's like the most volumizing mascara in the world, but it's definitely super lengthening. I would most likely purchase this one first and then maybe my Sweet mascara, but both of them would definitely be in my collection. Okay, so for the lip category, this would also be like really difficult because, with the lips, I like to have like a variety of shades, a variety of formulas. So I thought to myself, let's actually start off with the lip liner first. I kind of fished out these three first. So I'm not sure which one I would pick up first, Definitely my Tower 28 multi-liner in the shade Work of Art. This is just such a beautiful shade. If I would use a lip color that tends to lean a little bit more pink, more mauve, I would definitely go with the Honey Rose lip liner by Lawless. This is so beautiful. It's so creamy. I hope they are going to come out with more shades. But I think the one that I would purchase first, it's just because I just love this color so much and it works with so many of my lip products, would be the Airy Paris Acai Lip Pencil in the shade Pout. I just love this. This is so beautiful. It's like this cool toned brown. And I think it would also work so well with my eye look. So I'm gonna put this shade on, the shade Pout by Airy Paris, and then we are going to make a decision on what to put on next. So as you can see, this lip liner, I just could put this lip liner all over my lips and just be satisfied, because this color is so stunning. I just love this. So I've got 3 different lip products with different finishes that I would definitely purchase straight away. This was very difficult, but I would definitely purchase one of these Rare Beauty matte lip souffle creams. This is so beautiful. This is the shade Courage. This is my favorite shade of them all. It leans a little bit more brown, sort of purple, like dusty mauve almost. So I think I'm not going to put this on today. I do want to stay a little bit more with the browns, with the pure browns. But this is so stunning. I love this one so much. I've got this in almost every shade. It's just so blurring. It is just one of the best formulas ever, and I would definitely purchase this one straight away. And then I've got a lipstick and a lip gloss. So if I could only keep one lipstick, it would definitely be this one, and it would also be the very first one that I would purchase again. At the moment, it's sold out on the website, and it's the Lawless Satin Luxe Classic Cream Lipstick. This is the shade Suede. It's my favorite lipstick of all time. It's just this beautiful, cool tone beige. It's just perfect. And we might put this on my lips today, to be honest. My other option for a lip gloss, this was also very difficult because I definitely would not want to have only one lip gloss. But if I would need one, just one to start my collection with, I would pick this one up. This is by Victoria Beckham. It's her Posh Gloss in the shade Tan Line. Tan Line is the shade that I'm using the most. It's a little bit more gel, more cushiony like almost like the Fit Glow ones. And to be honest, I would also, after this purchase, would probably buy like a Fit Glow one. I would buy an Hourglass one, maybe also a Rowan Beauty one. Like, these lip glosses are all fantastic, but this would be the very first one that I would repurchase if I lost all my makeup. This would definitely be it. It's also not like fragranced, so it does not have any scent to it. It's just this beautiful beigey sort of muted down brown nude. I love this shade. This is like my favorite shade. I have a couple of the other shades, but this would be the one that I'm vibing personally most with. But yeah, I'm going to apply the lipstick though today. You know, I've got to make a decision. I mean, I could put on the lip gloss on top of it, but I think I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go with the lipstick because I just love this. This is so beautiful. So I'm going to apply the lipstick to my lips. I love this shade. This shade is everything. This beautiful cool tone beige, it just works. So one more step and then we are done. So I should have done this step just right before I put on my mascara, but I sometimes just forget. So if I would have to repurchase a setting spray, no questions asked, I would probably go for the most bougiest and most expensive setting spray that I have in my entire collection, but it's also just the best one. And that is the Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. It looks crazy, it looks so used, and it looks kind of disgusting, but it's just the best one, and I always use this. So if you want your makeup to last for the entire day, this is the answer to all of your prayers. This is just the best one, okay? So I gotta be careful with my mascara, but let's just hit my face with this. This really just gives my skin almost like a filter on top of it. It just looks so stunning. I love this setting spray so much, and I would definitely purchase this one first. Out of all of my setting sprays that I have, this one is the best one by far. And this wasn't easy, but those products would be the very first products that would like end up in my basket ready to check out. We're gonna like try and calculate how much would my shopping basket amount to, like what would be the grand total of all of these products. I'm about to get a heart attack, but you know, I'm just gonna do it for the sake of the experiment. Let me actually pull up my calculator and calculate solely the products that I'm wearing. That is a lot. And I'm gonna put it right here. That is so much money. Holy cow. This was really not considering the budget, but it was fun to do. Those would still be the products that I would purchase straight away. Maybe not all in one go, just looking at that price point. But yeah, you guys, that's the video. I hope it was fun. And let me know, what would be the very first products that you would run out and buy if you had lost all of your makeup? I would be really curious to know, so just drop me a comment down below. And if you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell in order to stay notified about my upcoming videos, and I shall be seeing you in here very, very soon with the next one. So please do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.